processing, privacy pixels, and plenty of prestige. It'll presently be pressured with painstaking poking, prodding, prying, and poquito of peeling to see if the polished paint on this pricey piece of personal preference prevails. Perhaps parts pop, or perhaps portions persevere, so prepare your popcorn as we pontificate on its performance. The punishment procedure proceeds. The coolest part of the s26 Ultra is probably the privacy screen. I personally probably wouldn't use it a whole lot since it does dim the screen considerably, as you'll see in a second. But first, I noticed that instead of a similar color glass around the camera plateau, Samsung has stuck a milky clear glass over the circles instead. You can see the way the plateau glows and illuminates as I shine my flashlight into it. And we can also see there's still a tiny gap between the lens and the translucent portion. I imagine this means the circular lenses are removable, and we'll have to find out here for sure in just a second. That's what all they do. It would be epic of Samsung if they could turn this translucent plateau into a notification or something, like how the smartphone brand Nothing does. I don't know if an internal camera would help justify the purchase. Pretty cool. The part that bothers me the most about the quality of this display is how dim it is when passing on the privacy protection is turned on. I mean, it works for sure, 100%. I have an angle measure here that can tell the exact angle at which a person might be able to see the screen. And with max privacy mode enabled, it's basically a 45-degree window of visibility to the sun. Without privacy mode, anyone standing within a 50-degree radius can basically see your screen. Privacy mode cuts the viewing angle visibility in half. If I were to get a s26 Ultra, which I probably won't, I would probably just turn on the privacy notification. This is where a text or email comes in, and the only portion of the screen that is dim or blacked out is the notification text itself. Really incredible isolation. iPhone users are going to be ecstatic when Apple invents this in a few years. Busting out the microscope, you can see that Samsung basically has two types of pixels, narrow pixels and wide-angle pixels. And normally all of them are turned on and working together for the full 1440p screen resolution. But as soon as privacy mode is enabled, we lose about half the pixel. All the wide-angle ones, leaving just the narrow beams of light meant for your eyes only. Now, this shouldn't affect the scratch resistance of the screen, but there's only one way to find out for sure. Looking at the S26 is about the same length as last year, but it's definitely a lot more thin this time around. The shape of the back end is also curved, so it does matter which way it goes into the phone. But it is nice knowing that it does not get stuck if it goes in backwards, like it used to in the original Samsung Note 5, which came out about 10 years ago. If you remember that from the promise that stretching at night will help you lower back pain so much. The cool thing about the S Pen is that it has a row of copper coils at the tip. These help the digitizer behind the phone screen better triangulate its position. It makes the stylus more exact. About 2 or 3 years ago with the S24 Ultra, the S Pen had a capacitor inside that would wirelessly charge the copper coils. But that capacitor and the capacity to charge has since been eliminated. There's no more Bluetooth functionality with the S Pen this year either. Just a little screen on top for most of the people who can have the phone. Back to the scratch mode. 2 on the s26 Ultra. Plastic removal scratch about DurabilityTest screen protector, one of my channel sponsors, is that it even works with privacy. They come true to a box and are foolproof to install, and of course they are made with real glass. Link is down in the description. It's also interesting to find out that Samsung ditched titanium. We're back to using armor aluminum, which I'm actually okay with. The buttons are still removable. Titanium is cool and all, but aluminum gets the job done just fine, and it's easier to work with and easier to recycle at the end of its life. Now the entire rating. There's no expandable storage, which is still limited.